Hey, dreamers. Happy Monday. I think I may have missed last Monday for our Mindful Moments Monday. Last week and the week previously were extremely busy here under the tree, and I actually could not find one moment to do this. So I am happy to be back. So today we are going to pull a card from the Soul's Journey Lessons card and get some guidance from our higher self. A little bit of soulful wisdom. And again, I like to use these cards. They're beautiful, nice Mandela print on them. And of course, because I'm just all about that lovely moon energy, I would like to pull some cards from my Moonology card deck and the Queen of Moon Oracle decks to get some, some moon phase guidance as well. I tend to always be guided to that crescent waning moon or crescent waxing moon. I'm not really sure what draws me to it, but all right. Let's start with this one. This is a lovely card. So, from our higher self today, it is offering us some guidance for happiness. Really, really pretty. I am aware that being happy means that I am on the right path. What a nice message. Inside that is very water. It's got some dolphins and some green and some blue. Lots of very nice flow to that happiness card. So let's just find that here and see where it's going to guide us. So before we incarnate, our soul created a blueprint. We talk about this often, that we have a soul plan when we come to this planet, a divine plan. We've done this for ourselves, right? And you follow this to the physical dimension. Like, you bring it with you. Of course, we forget all about it once we get here. We don't have the plan anymore, but we're supposed to follow it. So the easiest way to chart this path is to follow your bliss. So life is full of choices and opportunities, right? Spirit is in the infinite wisdom of all that and has given you the emotion of happiness to guide you. So when you're super happy and blissful, that is a huge indication that you are following your soul's path. The signposts are always there, but you have to acknowledge them and have the courage to follow them, which some of us have a hard time, seeing those signs. And once we see them, we question them, or we want to tear them apart or analyze them. We just have to trust. So as we look at this card, it's the beautiful dolphins there. What do you feel that, okay, so how am I going to phrase this? Do you feel that you're living a life of happiness? Sit with yourself and ask yourself that question. Do you feel like you are living a life of happiness? In what areas is happiness lacking? It might be time to be truthful with your soulful self. And to do that, sometimes meditation or just being in a quiet space or going out in nature really helps. It may be time to be truthful, again, with your soulful self. So sit with your soulful self. I know I repeated that twice, but it's a statement that sometimes is hard to take. And listen to its language and intuit if there's someone or a scenario holding you back from experiencing complete happiness. So if something is happening in your life, or you feel that someone in your life is holding you back from that happiness, try to be honest with yourself too. Like, I know it can be hard to be honest when it comes to that stuff. And even though it might be painful to admit it, you need to be completely truthful and be mindful of how happiness will affect every aspect of your life and on your life path. Okay. So also intuit if there is someone else in your life who needs to be brought into the awareness of that happiness. This is important to recognize as well. Others will want to learn from you, and whether you admit it or not, you can be their teacher. And being a teacher is not just standing in front of someone or hosting a workshop. It's just in conversation sometimes. Teaching something to someone could be just a different perspective. When you're filled with love and compassion, not only do you bring happiness into your life, but you lead others by example. So be that light, be that happiness. I love the messages from Soul's Journey. They're just so spot on. Just when you need something like that or need to hear it again in a different way, it's a nice way to hear it. And now we move on to the moon phase. So we're going to let the moon be our guide again today. And the moon phase that we are in currently is a waning crescent moon. Okay, so it's a time for healing. So I always have a hard time showing that. Beautiful card. And a waning moon offers a time for releasing, okay? It points to falling away of things. Life goes in cycles. Sometimes we need downtime or sometimes we need to let go. So no matter what phase the moon is in ever, currently we're in the 4th phase of the waning moon. When we pull this card, it's a sign that a situation in our life has peaked. It's like the autumn and the winter of the moon cycle. So what do you need to release? Sit there and ask yourself, what do you need to release? Almost certainly there is something from the situation that you're thinking about or that is most current in your life that you need to release something from. It can be very positive, but it can also still gently be suggesting that you let something go and stop trying so hard. Stop trying to understand it. Stop trying to put more energy into it, or requiring something more of yourself or someone else. Just let it go and be gentle with yourself while you're doing that. And I love this deck because I think I've said it before that you get to attune yourself to the moon. So it's almost like a little affirmation that you get to say while you're out there under that beautiful moon. And this one is, it's safe to let go and move on. Okay? Moving forward with as little resistance as possible. Releasing your emotional baggage is very recommended right now. It's always recommended, but in certain phases of the moon, it just seems a little bit easier to do that. And maybe say sorry to yourself or sorry to someone else. Apologize for something to yourself that you didn't give yourself or offer yourself, and to someone else if you need to. And do some energetic work too. When I say energetic work, I mean meditation or yoga. Really just be with yourself. And soon you will see what lies ahead. So at this specific time in the waning moon cycle, just take a moment, just breathe. If you can, look up at that sky, and you will see that it's growing smaller and smaller as we move towards that brand new moon, which is just around the corner. It's time when things are falling away again. And it's certainly not time to cling on to anyone or anything, right? It's the autumn and the winter of the moon phase, okay? So hunker down and start that regeneration process. The past is in the past with this type of moon, okay? And the bright future, it's beckoning us towards our future. It's actually calling out to us. So before we take our next step, though, make sure that both you and the situation that you're thinking of or that is surfacing in your life that feel healed. It's not a time to paper over or gloss over or simply pretend that everything is okay. It's not a time for that, okay? Rather, you still need a little more time to heal and to soothe both yourself and anyone else in need of healing. So remind yourself that anything is possible if you just believe it. It's also a time to surrender and wait to hear guidance from the universe. And when you surrender during meditation. And meditation is not just sitting quietly. I think I've mentioned this in the past. Meditation can be walking in nature. It can be listening to music or chanting. Meditation can be in a writing form, or find your meditation method that works for you. Because powerful insights can be had from those meditation moments, okay? If you know that someone is or something really isn't good for you, That's a reminder to surrender. Start to work on your belief in your dreams so you're ready when the time comes. Okay. And remember to tune yourself to that moon, because when one is healed, all is healed. And let go of that past. Okay. It's time of falling away again, because you're about to turn a corner. You just need a little more time to heal. Not much more, but you're almost there. Um, and think about how the situation that you're in would look if everyone were healed. It's nice to actually reflect on that, kind of looking towards that future again. What would it look like and feel like if everything was healed? Because patience is required here, though, okay? It's time for just a little more self care as you slowly and surely prepare yourself for the new moon, which is so close. It's just around the corner. That moon phase, it changes so fast that we're in and out of the new moon and full moon so quickly. But no matter which point we're at, we're at the last part of the waning crescent moon. It's a reminder to just go a little bit easier on yourself. It's time to step towards that creative power that's on its way to you very soon, and give yourself the time that you need. So I love the Moonology book. Like, once you really start to interact with moon energy and the moon phases, the cards are just a little bit of a guidance, because we're following the energy. And if we can tap into the energy of the moon, we don't have to read all the card messages. We'll be guided to what to do for ourselves. Okay, but that moves us into the Queen of the Moon Oracle. And of course, what comes with all this other stuff I just said? Peace. Okay, so there you are, very peaceful. And peace of mind is one of the most greatest gifts we could offer ourselves. Refusing drama and not freely engaging with people who use drama as a weapon. Stop fighting, stop arguing, stop trying to get in the middle of debates. Just pull back and allow yourself to rest for a little while. Because when we let go of what we no longer need, we make room for this peace. And we can add to our attunement to the moon with this other affirmation with a little bit of peace. We can actually add a little bit more to our affirmation. I create and hold peace. I allow this to ripple out into the world, which the world really, really needs right now. It always needs it. It's needed it from the beginning of time and probably to the end of time, if that ever happens. But currently, the situation that the world is in, it needs just a little more peace. So we can be kind and patient with that as well. Because in general, we're an anxious bunch of people. Like us modern people, not even modern people, we're probably more anxious than our predecessors, because we're constantly stimulated and not stimulated at the same time. We find it hard to sleep. And for some of us, we self-medicate. We use food, we use devices, we use social media, we dream, we have drama, we use our work. All those things are medications, really. But what we seek inner peace. We don't know how to get that very well, actually. But peace begins with a series of decisions that we make, right? Like, for example, we can decide what we can't control and what we can control. Okay, so the Greeks had a great strategy for this as well. You can split your issues and worries into two categories, like even on a piece of paper, right? Because that's very helpful for a lot of people to write things down. I can control this, and then this column, I have no control over this. Okay, so sit with yourself for a little bit, maybe just quietly, and think about the most pressing and worrying issues you have right now, or the situation that's currently in your life right now, that you're giving the most sleepless nights to. Then break them down into these two categories. Okay, and you will find You got to be correct with yourself. And you have to be honest with yourself and very discerning. Okay. And then you will find that most of your situations or worries or concerns, they actually fall under the second heading of I have no control over this. Right? That's good advice from the Greeks too, right? Um, because you will find that those things on that list, they don't even deserve any of your attention because they are completely out of your control. Wow, right? Like, who would have thought? However, the things you can control that are on that list, those are important and you must take action at the best to the best of your ability to work through them, to organize them. Because these are the ones that are going to influence you and will be give you the greatest change in your life. So they're kind of like monumental. They might seem simple, but they're not because you actually have control over them. And while the whole system seems pretty simple that I can control and I can't control, our brain is just it's going to get messed with a little bit. But know that it is simple. And I promise you, it will give you far less to worry about and instantly more peace within you and more peace within your brain. Because then we can become more focused and more mindful about what we're doing in real time, like in today's time. We can place ourselves deliberately in quiet situations, beautiful, peaceful environments. We can surround ourselves with quiet, more calm energy. We can learn what is for us and what brings our body rest and peace when there's less worry and more peace. We can choose to not lead with our monkey mind, right? Or squirrely thoughts, like our heads like miles away, just in worry. Because worry is, after all, it's just chewing gum for the mind. Okay. It's not really nutritious in any way, but there's something to do. So when we let go of what we no longer really need, peace floods in. It fills us and surrounds us. And it takes up this old space and heals it. Okay. Whatever is taking up space in that brain, peace will help heal that. So if you're looking for a companion stone or crystal to help you with this in this, waning crescent moon energy phase, amethyst is a great stone for right now. I know there are several stones that can help with this. That's just one that's recommended. Amethyst is amazing for all its transmuting powers, and it's beautiful to hold. So, but if you don't have any amethyst and you have other stones, sit with your stones and ask them if they would like to support you in this moon phase energy today. So that's it, dreamers. That's your Mindful Moment Monday and your moon phase guidance. What a nice way to start the week. So you'll see me on here again, hopefully tomorrow, Tuesdays with Jenny. We missed Tuesdays with Jenny last week in conversation, but I did come on and talk a little bit about the 222, the portal energy. And while I'm on here, I'd like to give a shout out to Sherry, one of our dream team members. It's her birthday today. So if any of you want to wish her a happy birthday, she is on Facebook. Have a great day, dreamers.